I'll tell you my story.
Yes.
So I started working on this question almost 20 years ago. And the fact of the matter is that the conversation we always hear from management is you need to sit down and talk. Well, we did sit down and talk. And then they asked for research. And then tons of research was done that proved that this worked. Then we worked through the legislature. We sat down with people in the State House, and I can tell you that there was at least one incident where the management side representatives stood and looked at us in a legislator's office and said, "No ratios, not now, not ever." That's the kind of way.
That's a little intense.
Yeah, it is a little intense. And then we passed the ICU law back in 2014. Yes. And what we found is, despite the fact of passing that law, there were times when hospitals were not choosing to go by those limits. So I know one of the concerns that you expressed was about the fines. And the fines are not just, boom, $25,000 like that. They are up to $25,000 in the question. And actually, after this is passed, what will happen is what will trigger those fines will be set by the Healthcare Policy Commission in Massachusetts. So they will say if X, they can't go against the spirit of the law, which is setting limits.
Yes.
Okay. But what they can do is say if X happens, then the fine is Y. Okay. So that it's not.
Okay. Oh, I hear you. All right.
Okay. So that's what it is. It's not unreasonable because there was a blizzard today and a nurse had a flat tire. That triggers and somebody reports it, which I don't imagine practicing nurses are going to do. That triggers the fine. It's that repeatedly, or whatever the policy commission decides, that's what triggers the fine and the level of the fine.
That is perfect, because that is one of the biggest concerns is the financials. And and the thing is, I feel like the nurses who are against this I feel like the nurses who are for this aren't delusional to think that, money falls from the sky. We're going to have an infinite amount of money to find these hospitals whenever we don't get the ratio set. And that's what I was worried about. And that's like my concern, because I read the actual bill from top to bottom, through and through. By the way,
I laud you for doing that because you're an informed voter.
Yeah, because, first of all, this is literally the second bill I've ever read from top to bottom, and these things are super confusing. The way they letter it, the way it's written, the definitions in between, it's complicated. Yeah. But it always said up to $25,000, and it said it would be reported at the hospital, then it would go to somewhere else, and then it would go to the Attorney General, and then the Attorney General will make the decision if the fine happens. I'm just concerned, how does that work? How often is the...
I expect the hospitals are going to live by the limits.
Okay.
And that they should.
Exactly.
Okay. And maybe there'll be a couple of fines, and then they'll say, I got caught, and so,
let's not do this again.
Right.
Makes sense.
Right.
So, comment section below, let me know, what are you still concerned about after hearing their side? If there's no, if you're done having the argument, you've decided, great, let me know why you've decided. All right. And if you still have questions, like I said, down below, I'll contact them every Friday up until November 6th. The nursing news, I will give you guys updates. Thank you guys so much. Again, shout out to MNA for coming out. Thank you. ANA, I really, 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 really want to hear from you. So please and thank you. Catch you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And most important, especially for this, comments down below. Deuces.